Most men speak to women from a place of desperate need. They perform, they chase, they overflow with nervous energy, trying to prove their worth through endless words and exhausting effort. They believe that more talking equals more connection, that louder means stronger, that constant validation seeking will somehow earn them respect. This is the way of the weak mind, the scattered soul, the man who has never learned to find his center. But the Stoic man understands a profound truth that eludes most. Attraction is not born from desperation, but from depth. Not from noise, but from stillness. Not from trying to be impressive, but from simply being impressed by your own character. When a man speaks from inner abundance rather than inner emptiness, his words carry a magnetic power that no amount of performance can replicate. The high-value man speaks with presence, not pressure. When he enters a conversation, he brings his entire being into that moment, fully attentive and completely unhurried. There is no agenda hidden beneath his words, no desperate timeline he is racing against. Like Marcus Aurelius observing the changing seasons from his palace window, he understands that meaningful connection unfolds in its own time and cannot be forced. His presence fills the space between words, creating an atmosphere of calm confidence that draws others toward him naturally. Women sense this immediately because they are constantly surrounded by men who speak with the frantic energy of those trying to sell something they do not truly believe in themselves. He listens far more than he speaks, understanding that true power lies not in dominating conversation, but in commanding it through thoughtful silence. While other men rush to fill every pause with meaningless chatter, the Stoic man allows space for genuine exchange. He listens not to respond, but to understand, not to impress, but to connect. His ears are instruments of wisdom, gathering information about character, values, and depth that surface-level conversations never reveal. When he does speak, his words land with weight because they emerge from genuine consideration rather than reflexive reaction. Women find themselves sharing more with him than they intended, drawn to his rare gift of authentic attention in a world of divided focus. Every word he chooses carries intention and weight. Like Seneca crafting his letters to Lucilius, the high-value man understands that fewer words spoken with purpose create more impact than volumes of empty speech. He does not fill silence with nervous laughter or redundant observations. Instead, he allows his thoughts to mature before giving them voice, ensuring that when he speaks, he contributes something meaningful to the exchange. His communication is like a master sculptor working with marble, removing everything unnecessary to reveal the essential form beneath. Women are drawn to this precision because it signals a mind that has learned to govern itself, a character that chooses quality over quantity in all things. He never tries to impress, only to express his authentic self with quiet confidence. The desperate man performs elaborate displays of knowledge, wealth, or wit, exhausting himself in the process and repelling those he seeks to attract. But the Stoic man has done the inner work to know his own value, requiring no external validation to confirm what he has already established within himself. He shares his thoughts, experiences, and perspectives, not to elevate his status, but to offer genuine connection. His stories emerge naturally from the flow of conversation, rather than being forced into it like unwelcome interruptions. This authenticity is magnetic because it is so rare in a world where most people are constantly playing roles they believe others want to see. His emotional equilibrium remains unshakable regardless of the response he receives. Like Epictetus teaching his students about the things within and beyond their control, The high-value man understands that his worth is not determined by another person's reaction to him. If she laughs at his humor, he enjoys the moment without becoming dependent on her approval. If she disagrees with his opinion, he remains centered and curious rather than defensive or argumentative. This emotional stability creates a safe space for authentic interaction because women sense they can be themselves without triggering insecurity or emotional volatility. His groundedness becomes an anchor in conversations, allowing deeper truths to surface naturally. He reveals himself gradually, like dawn breaking slowly over the horizon, rather than lightning illuminating everything at once. The weak man spills his entire life story in the first conversation, desperate to be known and accepted. But the Stoic man understands that mystery creates magnetic pull, that revealing too much too quickly eliminates the natural tension that builds genuine interest. He shares layers of himself over time, allowing others to discover his depth gradually. This approach honors both himself and others by creating space for mutual discovery rather than one-sided confession. Women find themselves curious about him, drawn to learn more about the man who clearly knows himself well enough to reveal himself wisely. His questions penetrate beyond surface pleasantries to explore what truly matters. While others ask about jobs, weather, and weekend plans, the high-value man inquires about dreams, values, and the experiences that have shaped character. He asks not to gather information for some hidden agenda, but because he genuinely values understanding the person before him. His curiosity is philosophical rather than merely social, seeking to understand the principles that guide another's life rather than just the circumstances that fill their days. These meaningful questions create conversations that women remember long after they end, because so few people take the time to explore the deeper currents of human experience. He masters the art of purposeful silence, understanding that pauses create space for truth to emerge. Lesser men fear silence and rush to fill it with noise, but the Stoic man recognizes these moments as opportunities for deeper connection. In silence, people often reveal their most authentic thoughts, their real concerns, their genuine interests. He is comfortable with these pauses because he is comfortable with himself, requiring no constant external stimulation to feel at ease. This mastery of silence creates a unique form of tension that draws others in, making his eventual words all the more impactful when they come. Women find themselves leaning in during these quiet moments, subconsciously drawn to the depth they sense beneath his stillness. Every aspect of his communication reflects deep self-respect and inner authority. His tone is neither aggressive nor apologetic, but carries the quiet confidence of a man who knows his worth. He speaks neither too quickly from nervousness nor too slowly from pretension, but with the natural rhythm of someone completely comfortable in his own skin. His timing is impeccable because it flows from genuine consideration rather than calculated manipulation. He asks for what he wants directly and accepts responses gracefully, whether favorable or not. This self-respect is contagious, inspiring others to treat him with the same dignity he consistently demonstrates toward himself. When disrespected or treated poorly, he does not engage in argument or explanation, but simply removes himself from the situation with calm dignity. Like Marcus Aurelius dealing with difficult senators, he understands that trying to change others through force or persuasion is futile and beneath his character. He does not waste energy on those who do not recognize his value, instead focusing on connections that honor mutual respect. His ability to walk away calmly demonstrates a form of strength that is both rare and magnetic. Women notice this quality immediately because it signals a man who has options, standards, and the self-respect to enforce his boundaries without drama or emotional manipulation. He approaches every interaction with complete outcome independence, understanding that his worth is not determined by any single conversation or connection. This freedom from needing specific results allows him to be fully present and authentic in each moment. He does not twist himself into shapes designed to please others because he has already pleased the most important person, himself. This detachment from outcomes paradoxically makes him more attractive because people sense his authenticity and lack of desperation. He can be rejected without being defeated, can be accepted without being validated, can walk away without feeling diminished. This inner freedom creates an irresistible magnetism because it signals a man who has achieved something most people spend their entire lives seeking: genuine contentment with who he is. The truth that transforms everything is this: women are not drawn to men who try harder, but to men who live with purpose, calm, and unshakable inner authority. When your communication flows from a well of self-knowledge rather than a pit of need, when your words carry the weight of wisdom rather than the desperation of insecurity, when your presence commands attention without demanding it, you become the kind of man that others naturally gravitate toward. Your voice becomes the external expression of your soul's strength, and attraction ceases to be something you chase and becomes something you simply embody. The Stoic path teaches us that mastery over ourselves is the only mastery that truly matters. And when that mastery expresses itself through how we communicate, we discover that everything we ever wanted was already within our reach the moment we stopped reaching for it.